Mr. Bobo-Jones, a science teacher, is passionate about an ever-growing collection of fountain pens and ink. This year, he ran an ArtsFest workshop where he gave an introduction to fountain pens, inks, and papers, and encouraged participants to try samples from his own collections. Although he has many pens, each of them has a special value to him, and he keeps an eye out for unusual ones. He has spent around 2 decades buying and selling pens, and these featured pens are just 5 from his collection of roughly 56. According to Mr. Bobo-Jones, this is a Pelikan M600 from either 2020 or 2021.
This is the Sovereign. Their special edition in green and white. Mostly they're black and then some other color, but they chose white.
The pen's cap looks like a pelican, the company's namesake and logo. According to Mr. Bobo-Jones, Pelikan is known for making high-quality pens that can be used right after purchase with no tuning or tinkering needed. However, ink is often drawn through a piston pump in Pelikan pens, so ink and cartridges aren't necessarily compatible and bottled ink must be used. This second pen is from the Sailor Company, which Mr. Bobo-Jones also said is famous for producing very high-quality, high-end pens.
I probably have more Sailors than any other brand of pen.
This is the blackout version, a European exclusive. Sailor often does continent-wide color exclusives, which look unique.
They're normally famous for a little metal ring, a little metal band on the cap, but they don't do that on their special editions. It just makes it look a little bit more refined.
The other 3 pens are all from the same company. This one's a Montblanc 22 from 1950.
Little slip cap, partially hooded nib, also piston draw, so you just twist the end here and it'll draw ink up through the nib.
Although this pen is taken care of well, it's actually quite old.
And for being a pen that is 70 years old, it doesn't act like a 70-year-old anything.
The next pen, a Montblanc 14, is 10 years younger than Mr. Bobo-Jones's 22. Although it has a similar design, it has 18 karat gold rather than the 14 karat used on the 22. It was also very well taken care of by previous owners.
And for a 60-year-old pen, this is in pretty much brand new quality. The person who had this before me took care of it so lovingly.
This last pen is from the 90s, and people have strong feelings about it due to its complexity.
This one, this is one of those pens that people either hate or love. This is the Montblanc Bohème.
One annoyance or charm of this pen is its nib.
They are little. They're meant to be little because they're special. So you take the cap off and you don't have a nib until you screw the cap on the back and you keep twisting and the nib pops out. This one also 18 karat. You can get these in a whole variety of nib qualities.
The pen's size can also make it difficult to work with.
Because it's so small, to refill this, you have to lift this top off so it's hung on by a little edge. You turn it just a little bit and it pops a cartridge out and you refill the cartridge. Just with like a little syringe.
Mr. Bobo-Jones's favorite Montblanc pen. It's a commemorative one for Franz Kafka, and it has a cockroach inscribed on its nib, a creature that he loves. This is one of the more unusual pens in his collection, and an example of the oddities he searches for. Mr. Bobo-Jones began his collection with inexpensive pens that wrote fairly well, but needed to be tweaked to solve problems, like unexpected ink leaks. This wasn't a problem for Mr. Bobo-Jones, who likes tinkering.
It just kind of grew from there, and then the color options, the nib options, the ability to control your handwriting, and how your handwriting changes depending on the shape of the nib, it's all very technically interesting to me. So it is kind of an obsession. I will tell myself, all right, no pens this month, and then suddenly, oh, but I have to have that pen because I don't have that in my collection. So far, I've failed that test for the month of April, and the Chicago Pen Show is the first week of May, so I'll fail that test by the first week of May. So hopefully, June is a no pen month.
Reporting for the U-High Midway, this is Amy Ryan.